Let's just in a moment of silence. We run away from the silence. But greetings, welcome. Anybody that's coming in. Thank you for stopping by here on TikTok Live at the one and only, the raw, the rare, the real, the tried and true, Bloom from Within Love. I go by Bloomy. Happy Tuesday, August the 9th, 2022. If you're logging in live, and yes, I was sitting here just in stillness and in silence for a while. We run away from that, but often when we allow ourselves to get back to that, that's why you guys see the lights down. I'll probably turn them up here in a second. I actually have it open for comments so that we can have a discussion as you all are shifting into the Lion's Gate. Many of you are meditating, preparing, doing life reviews. Many of you are looking at so many different things about yourself, about your life, which is good. It's good to be introspective, to be reflective in the name of going forward, in the name of learning the lesson and going forward, learning lessons going forward. But the stillness, what we run from, the stillness, the quiet, the chatter that comes up, all that comes up when we allow. The stillness usually brings the things that we're pushing down, that we're pushing it down for one reason or another. So I'm inviting you all, if you feel guided and comfortable. If not, no worries, because this is something that you need to feel comfortable with, period. Something that you need to be open to and ready for. If not, that's okay. But if only ... as you guys are coming in, that's in the title. If only ... Hindsight being 2020. In retrospect, if there was one thing you can do differently, what would it be? Some of us say, I wouldn't do anything at all differently because, well, it got me here. Others of us, we've learned a lesson and go, well, though I can see how it served. Hindsight being 2020 in retrospect, what I know now, this is something that if I could, if only, I would do it differently. And it can be anything from small to large. And so I invite you all to ask yourself that, if you feel comfortable, if only, if only, if only. Maybe it was, I would have never moved to blah, blah, blah. Okay? If only I would have moved here, blah, blah, blah. If only I would have, just fill in the blanks. And it's meant to serve for us in a good way, not for the way where it like gets you stuck, but connecting the dots between what we have a tendency to do this, squelch, because it's either too much to handle, or we feel like it's too much, or it's easier just to try to pretend it away, whatever. For me, I'll share, I'm going to go lightweight and share just to get the ball rolling, okay? I'll get the ball rolling. Oh, bloomy bloom, if only, if only, if only. Whoa. So, if only, though I can see how relocating to Las Vegas, Nevada, Sodom and Gomorrah, how it served my awakening, I can see the purpose of it, why it took place in retrospect. But if only I wouldn't have never moved there. If I would have known what I know, I wouldn't have moved. I wouldn't have uprooted me and my son's life from California. I would have stayed there, and I would have went through my awakening with truths, keeping us safe from people who were really after our heads, after our lives. Unfortunately, our own family. If only I would have stayed in California and learned all the lessons and, tried to deal with the spiritual awakening and dark nights of the soul and all that takes place there. That's one of my if onlys. ... If only ... I would have never relocated to Nevada to begin with. I put my son's life at risk for doing that. I put my life at risk for doing that. Unnecessary heartache and pain, chaos and confusion due to relocating there. So I would do it differently. I would have stayed put and just continued there. Okay. Now, for some of you coming in, if you feel comfortable, I shared one of mine. That's one of my biggest ones. That's one that's a legit one that I would really do different. I would absolutely do it differently. Okay. Yeah, so if anybody, it's funny how when I do cut the comments on, then nobody comments, but it's a trip. Anyways, this is kind of why I don't keep it open a lot, because it's like if I don't get the engagement, then I'm like, yeah, I'll just keep it on silent. And y'all can click the like buttons, when you come in and I'm doing something that you feel like it's for you. If only. Some of us, it's not as big as mine. Mine is a pretty huge one, life altering, right? Others of us, it's more small, like one decision about a person. If only I would have listened. If only I wouldn't have blocked them. If only I would have, been on the up and up. If only. Some of us have smaller if onlys. And I'm going somewhere with it in a minute, because you guys may say, well, you can't change, so what's the point of it? I'm going to share that. There is a point. A lot of the issues that most of us deal with is due to a lack of introspection, a lack of getting good and honest and raw and still with the self. So as we're moving forward with lack of insight about how we have conducted life up to this moment. So essentially, still doing the same shit over and over again, yielding the same results, and wondering why it's yielding the same results. Lack of wisdom, lack of introspection that requires stillness. Not being afraid of the quiet, not being afraid of not having 5 people around you all the time. Not being distracted by sex, drugs, and rock and roll all the time, but getting here. Then we could get out of the past or get out of whatever that revelation is, and hopefully set an intention in that now moment. Okay, well, since I'm going to grab that wisdom lesson then, since I'm saying if only, I'm going to grab that wisdom lesson now. There may not be anything I can do. I can't undo the fact that I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada in 2016 and everything that transpired as a result of it. I can't undo that, but I can set intention. Well, everything that I feel like I learned because of that, and I'm saying that I would do it differently, then I'm going to pull from here on out. These are the wisdom principles I will use before I do anything like that ever again. I'll learn how to follow my gut versus the appearance. I'll use my gut versus the outer appearance of support, help. That's a trap to hurt me and my son's life. I will tap in. I will slow down. I will apply these wisdoms. I'll be willing to rough it out if necessary, if that's the wiser choice, versus setting myself up for something that I have to fight tooth and nail to get out of. So that helps me here. It helps me here. Because now, every day, the decisions I'm making, the people I'm choosing to engage in, the decisions I'm making is, how far I would go with people and what I'm willing to agree upon and what I'm not. All of these things have been shaped by me being willing to do the reflection and accept the lesson and apply it, which is wisdom. If only, ... If only, ... And this is a good thing. And as we're going into this Lion's Gate, this is not meant to make us feel stuck. It's actually meant to help us to see how we can move on. Because often movement without some type of sense of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding or direction keeps us in a merry-go-round. Round, 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 because we haven't gotten the insight. I'm aware that I have many karmic energies coming in here constantly. I'm aware that some came through here on this live. But I am addressing the ragtag team of you, the few of you out there that are on this path to ascension and awakening. And you're saying, if only, and wanting to truly learn from your life's lessons. Though everything has served as it should, I know that there's a belief about how everything served as it should, and it's actually true. Because though I regret moving to Las Vegas, it did get me here. It did strengthen me. It did force me to see things, okay? But there could have been a less catastrophic way of getting here, I suppose. A less catastrophic way. Okay? So what we're going to do, I had the lights down, just trying to set the tone, but I'm going to cut the lights on and see if we can get like a little mini oracle pull on the if only. What lesson? Because I didn't get anybody to engage here, so I'm going to move past that. Everybody's scared. I'm going to move past that. But at least as you feel comfortable and guided on your own, something that you may do for yourself to help you to move forward with this Lion's Gate energy, with those wisdom principles in place, okay, and applying them as you move forward, okay? All right, so let's see here, if only. Let's cut the lights on. If only, if only. We can't change the past, guys, but we can certainly learn from it. Okay, we can certainly learn if we choose to, that is. Okay, so let's get a pull. A little mini oracle pull. I'm not going to even call it a real reading. I'm just going to say something from the guides, source, ancestors that, in terms of that if only wisdom principles. What lessons, right? Things we've gone through, and in hindsight, retrospect, we would go, I would so do that differently. I see that it served me, in one way or the other, but I would so go about another route. Because unfortunately, lives got hurt. Innocent lives got hurt. Especially when it comes to children or the disabled communities and stuff that don't deserve the fuckery due to motherfuckers behind dumb shit. Somebody on some dumb shit. Brilliant beliefs, luminous life force, personal power. So some of us are realizing that we should have just claimed our personal power very early on and went with it, what we believed, what our guts versus what our culture, our environments, our surroundings. We're looking back and going, if only. I wouldn't have been stuck in some outdated paradigm or making poor judgment based on a paradigm. Okay? Wow. Personal power. All right, if only. Ancestors. Open heart. Somebody is wishing they would have opened their heart. 11 energy. 11. It says here, opening the heart, deep connections, water blessings. Somebody could wish they would have opened their heart to a twin. Somebody could be, yeah. So this is about what we open our heart to. Somebody is in that energy of, I should have been mindful of what I opened my heart to. Okay? Because it affects your harvest, your blessings. If you open to the wrong people, that could be the lesson for somebody. If you open up your heart to the wrong connections, I know that lesson. Family. Let's see. Yeah, duality. Misunderstandings. I have duality at the bottom of the deck in the reverse. So it could be about clearing up, opening the heart and clearing up many meanings and misunderstandings. Yeah, it's in the reverse. Someone, maybe looking at things like, if I was more open, this would have cleared all of this stuff that happened, or all this misunderstandings and all of that. Okay, because it's at the bottom in the reversed. Okay, let's see here. Divine Feminine. Go on, child, honey. All right, Divine Feminine. You in the house, okay? You're magnetic. It says here, magnetic. Right? Without a spell. Go figure. Receptive power. I'm being naughty, y'all. I know. I can't help it. I just can't help it. Because it's natural for Divine Feminine. It has nothing to do with no weird shit. Okay? Magnetic, receptive power. It can be a Divine Feminine that's learning the lesson about being careful about what she opens her heart to. It can be someone that's wishing they would have opened their heart to a Divine Feminine. Here's the abundance again. Fortune, wealth, plenty, realizing that, giving and receiving. Wow. Divine Feminine is on the board. All right. So it's either some Divine Feminines or someone that's thinking about Divine Feminines here. Okay. Circle of eternal joy, timelessness, dance of life. It's in the reverse. Someone could be in regret about making someone sad. Causing sadness for somebody. Yeah, because it was true love, tenderness, true love, compassion. So it's a lesson about recognizing what true love is and having an open heart. So maybe people had closed hearts to a actual freaking Divine Feminine, man. Wow. So retrospect is like learning the lesson of what to open to and what not to open to. Yeah, death and rebirth, darkness to light. Yeah, somebody is wishing that they would have put an end to some other things maybe, or transformed something. Went from darkness to light pertaining to a Divine Feminine. Or maybe that's what somebody's doing, for all I know. If only ... because somebody feel like that's where the true abundance lies, the true fortune, wealth, or plenty. Yeah, because also there's telepathic communication going on. There's a 22 and an 11 energy. Yeah. Aww. So, okay, so it's about the heart, deep connections, valuing deep connections. Okay. It's a lesson. It's a journey. It's a journey. I mean, we've all been cultured into this fuck shit. I'm going to tell you right now, whether we know it or not. I don't care if your people got $1,000 trillion, this is cultured into some fuck shit. Let's see. What else, team? If only ... Yeah, the garden. The garden, paradise. Idyllic times. Somebody feel like they would have had idyllic times if they would have been open to divine feminine by now. Somebody feels like if they would have opened their heart to an 11 energy, true divine feminine, they would have went through transformations that they needed to right now with this Christ consciousness, these Black Panthers, from death to light or darkness to light. They would have gone through that by now and would be in some kind of an idyllic times had they been open to a divine feminine. They would have already had their Phoenix rising. Somebody feels like they would already be Phoenix rising energy here. Soul radiance. Okay, in retrospect. Had they been open. Divine feminine could feel like, yeah, if she was more cautious with her heart earlier on, she wouldn't have had to go through so much hell here. Yeah. Because, yeah, the lack of wisdom. So there's a wisdom that was learned for both, whether this is the divine feminine or someone thinking of a divine feminine. Wisdom reversed. Yeah. It was a wisdom. Well, if only ... It's a wisdom lesson, like be mindful of who you open your heart to, period. Friends, family, don't matter. Not everybody is deserving and trustworthy. Some people that you trust will be the ones that's trying to set you up to die. Like my people. Whether folks want to believe it or not, they will find this out. This is why we can't be talking about that diehard loyalty to blood. And maybe that's somebody's wisdom principle is like, you got to get out of that conditioning because that can cost you your life. Set you up to be a sitting duck. Yeah. Angelic assistance, divine guidance, loving support, okay? So divine feminine could be being looked at as angelic assistance. Now we have synchronicity 6 and 7 or 7 and 6, divine feminine. The lesson is also about who you're choosing support from. Yeah. Blocking off communication here. Communication is in the reverse. Somebody may regret blocking off communication. Realizing that this is the person that actually could have held a key. It's funny, isn't it? This is why they usually fight so hard to keep people away from an actual divine feminine or an actual divine masculine. Because these individuals or energies or frequencies are subconsciously aware. In some cases, they're literally aware. So they conjure up all sorts of shit. But look, death and rebirth, darkness to light, soul radiance. Yeah. Phoenix. That Phoenix energy keeps coming out. Hostilities, yeah. Yeah. That's divine feminine. And that's the Christ consciousness surrounding her, around her legs and her feet. That's expensive to tear some heads up. But in retrospect, woo, it's a mistake, motherfucker. But in retrospect, Somebody could be wishing that they would have put an end to fighting, because we have death and rebirth, darkness to light, and then hostilities of four energy, okay, conflict and unrest. Someone could be looking back and going, you know what? I wish I would have put that shit to an end. Because this person is actually angelic, no matter what I want to say here. And it was stupid to be trying to fight somebody that's got this Christ consciousness. That's got this angelic support here, this divine feminine at the heart. Wow. That's got some power. Boy, I tell you what. Somebody summoning power, instinct, intellect, control. Divine feminine could feel like she, in retrospect to her lesson, she wished she would have summoned up power by following her instinct versus, you know, these practical things. Oh, that's my mother. Oh, that's my sister. They wouldn't. They the main ones trying to kill your ass. Oh, they wouldn't dare do that. They wouldn't go that far. That does not even compute. That does not make any sense. Yes, the fuck. Yes. Yes, the fuck. Because they checked out a long time ago, bitch. They checked out a long time ago. So divine feminine may be saying, if only ... I would have deaded it. I would have deaded these connections, been mindful of my heart, asked for angelic support to help me to get into idyllic times and not fight, putting it into these hostilities. I wouldn't have been in this state of unrest dealing with these lunatics. Okay? Disguised as family, church folks, Reiki masters, co-workers that's going to get their head taken. All because if only I would have summoned power, she could be saying, and wouldn't have gone there, and it would have possibly bypassed a whole lot that had ended up happening and will end up happening in some cases. Yeah. To go for her harvest in a different way. Oh, shit. Change the game. Oops, let's pause. I guess he said you ain't getting too far, divine feminine. It's divine masculine. Ooh, chap. Ooh. Divine masculines could be looking back, wishing they would have taken some kind of action or wanting to, wishing they would have appreciated divine feminine, hoping for a miracle or believing in miracles or something like that. And it's next to divine masculine. Maybe they're believing or hoping for a miracle now. Okay. Somebody is. So now we got, a honey child. Now we got divine feminine and masculine. Honey child with us. Honey child. Okay, well, light team. So if the collective is able to, whoever this is for, since it's just oracle messages here, if only ... taking the wisdom that they've grabbed in a good way, not to get stuck, because we can get stuck. So this is to help us to grab it and move, heal, grab it and move forward here. With this hostilities, what's shifting if we're able to simply grab the lesson and keep moving? If we're able to heal, take the wisdom, lovingly take the wisdom, and then balance. Okay, there was an instability, balance is in the reverse, so now balance to be restored. If we can get back into balance after what the hostilities created, which was the imbalances. Fighting with these types of people or getting caught up in whatever that is we are thinking of created the imbalances. Balance in reverse. That was the whole goal, by the way. But it created these imbalances. Okay? Now, I'm asking about planting something new. There it is. So take wisdom about what created instability and just touching earth to plant something new. Ascended Master Energy 12, 12, and 22, 12, 12, 11, 12, 12, 22, 12, 22. I've been saying that for a while now. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I think it's freezing up here. Weather is crazy where I'm at. One moment is sunny and next moment is thunder. And then so sorry about that. But yeah, innovation. So we got 2 new cards. Planting something new. So the wisdom is, okay, they're going to learn the lesson about fighting for the wrong things and fighting with the wrong people. Planting something new. New creations. You have 2 new cards back to back. So yeah, this is beautiful. Power. Yeah. Harvest. Look at this. Divine masculine's involved. Okay, so well, for some of you, this is certainly, because he's not far behind feminine. We have masculine right here, like literally 3 or 4 cards behind. Feminine is on the board. Okay, balance to be restored. Okay, for divine feminine, since she seemed to be at the heart, learning these wisdom lessons, moving forward, lovingly forgiving ourselves, accepting it, looking at it, and then moving forward. Divine feminine, she's the heart of the oracle messages here. I don't know what's going on with that, guys. Okay. Earth magic for the divine feminine here. Fearlessness and removing obstacles is what she's up to. Fearlessness, removing obstacles, and then it's a 26, so there's the 8. Line 8. Yep. All right. Friends, interesting. Friends, support, fun, unity, play. This is interesting. I think she's calling in high vibe support with angelic assistance here. Friendships. She certainly learned a lesson about friendship, didn't she? Yes, she did. I think she's calling in her help because she's on a sacred purpose and she knows it. Eternal flame, ancestral legacy, and abundance, fortune, wealth, and plenty, telepathy, transmission, perception. So there's some kind of something. There's the 22. I'm telling y'all, there's the 22 again. There's the 22. 12, 22, 12, 22, 12, 22. Wow. All right. Paradise. Learning these lessons. Going into paradise here. Don't know why I keep getting this pop up, so I'm sorry if there's... Hold on. Let me see something. Sorry about that. It was freezing up, you guys, doing something really weird. So if anybody is still here, I apologize. I kept glancing back at the screen and it kept giving this box, kept popping up. So I'm not sure how much you guys have missed or not because it looked like it was going. So I don't know. But the good thing is, you know, these lessons, divine masculine is showing up right behind divine feminine. About with these lessons, this is if only. Okay. Divine Feminine seems like she's calling in high vibe support to help her to remove obstacles that was placed on her by dark witches and warlocks. People who don't like her, competitors in the field, religious folks, her family. Okay. She's calling it in, and so it's being manifested. She's learned some lessons about, so she's very mindful of who she takes support from now, and she's very mindful of who she unites with. She's very mindful. She's learned that wisdom nugget. She looks past appearances. So that's good, because she's going to get the balance restored. She's fearless, removing obstacles here. Okay, Paradise, lighting. I'm gonna go. Thank you guys. I already know. Well, hello. There it is. She's a psychic. Precognition, psychic ability, future vision. She don't need nobody's approval. And stamp and papers. She knows who she is. All right. So she knows that, you know, times will get better. And I think the wisdom lesson is sometimes while we're going through these processes of development, we can't always see tangibly. And the lesson is learning how to tap in and trust your journey and process that. As long as you follow these prompts and learn these wisdom nuggets and lessons, your idyllic times you will be able to manifest, as long as you get these wisdom principles so you ain't tying up with the wrong motherfuckers that's trying to kill you, that's trying to steal from you, okay? That's trying to be you, shit. Single white female. Open heart. If only ... Open heart. River of blessings, releasing constraints. Yes. 47, that's an 11 energy. So we got 11, 11 again. I keep getting this trend in the readings lately. There's 11, 11, clarifying 11. I keep getting these double cards clarifying each other. So there's a release. Somebody is letting go of what's been constraining them. It could be a twin, since we do have divine feminine and masculine showing up in the reading somehow. Past life influences, karmics. Yep. Dang, why did it change? Like, it got lighter, huh? Ain't that crazy? What the hell? Maybe that's just the zoom or the lens or something. Anyway, death and rebirth. Now with this lesson, right? If only lessons, if only lessons, if only lessons. Moving on. So 23, it was a challenge, but embracing change and transformation instead of resisting change and transformation here. Shamanic journey, purpose, attunement, vision quest. Yes, so now someone is aligning, realizing that that's the ticket. That is the ticket here to embrace your own transformation, to not fight it, and not needing 12, 13, 14 motherfuckers to tell you about it and agree with it. Because that will block your ascension. I have portal in the reverse. So it's about the infinite mind awakening consciousness. So someone is finally realizing that you embrace this or you stay asleep. You stay asleep. You stay locked into the fuckery. And you go round for round until you die with one karmic war after the next. Woo, child. Well, but the good thing is, lessons learned, okay? It's never meant to keep us in stuck or in the regret and like, oh, it's meant to say, hey, well, pull your wisdom, because now is the day of manifestation. The point of a manifestation is now. Now. What are we doing now? With all that, to create something different, right? Doesn't do any good to sit in regret. I can tell you that right now. If wisdom is not going to be applied to do and be any differently. Okay? All right. I hope that helps. This was something mini. The stillness, right? Trying to get you guys to get comfortable with just that. Sometimes we need to turn off the lights. Light a candle. Not for that, what the song is about, but to get into stillness. Get out of the busy nothingness. To quiet the egoic mind. And whatever comes up. This is a journey. Ideally, we're learning. That's the whole point, man. Some of us stay stuck and stagnant till we die and occur severe bad karma, depending on how far to the left we go. But then others of us, we see it, we open our eyes, we catch it and say, oh, fuck that. You ain't taking me down with you. Bye, bye, babe, bye, bye. Shit. And that's what this is all about. We can't change choices and decisions for others, but we can certainly change choices and decisions for ourselves. And that's what this thing is about. Save yourself. Know thyself. It's an individual affair. All right, you guys. Turn off the lights. Da-na.